They can make a late race rally, and it also looks like Mike Skinner took advantage of the caution to come down pit road as well.
Aaron's lucky dog goes to the 15 of Nelson Piquet Jr. So Nelson Piquet will go back onto the lead lap. That puts 18 trucks on the lead lap.
Blockade across the fourth turn to make him stop. Then they got him out of the truck, got him out of the car. Check out our pace truck.
We now have a pace truck.
A little Tundra. We talk about a Toyota never winning here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We have one pacing the field right now.
Randy Kaiser is our pace car driver. He's looks to have gotten into a different pace car, the backup pace car.
Yeah, he's down in the Cup garage.
He will be back out onto the racetrack to pace the field. Let's take a look at the Just for Men mustache and beard keep your edge moment.
Kyle Busch gets a little bit loose, gets into the outside wall, loses the lead that he had from the very start. But he fights back, gets by Brad Keselowski in the top 5 position. Another view of him passing Brad Keselowski. Then Elliott Sadler decides to come to pit road on the green flag pit stop, and Kyle takes over the lead.
Came all the way back from hitting the wall to the lead under the same green flag run. Then they came to the pit, got the thing tuned up, and drove it right back to the front. Fixed that right front damage, gave up all his track position because he knew he could get it back.
That was the Keep Your Edge moment presented by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. So Kyle Busch running second to Ron Hornaday. Todd Bodine running third. Jason White and Eric Almirola rounding out the top 5.
New pace car.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, I thought it'd be interesting to do a little comparison between these two drivers of Kyle Busch and Ron Hornaday. We've seen them run side by side in so many races. So who do you call? Well, you call Russell the stats guy. And he told me that these two have competed against each other in 66 races. Kyle has gotten the better of that 42 times. How many wins in those races? 17 for Kyle and 8 for Hornaday. You know these two are very tough competitors, and we see them up front a lot. It'll be interesting to see them give it a go tonight here at Charlotte. Hornaday and Kyle Busch, 1 and 2.
Now, we've seen Hornaday get aggressive on the racetrack in the closing laps. So does Todd Bodine, who's sitting back there in third, see these two and think, well, I might let them battle it out, and then I'll try to take advantage. That's all coming up here on Speed as Hornaday, Kyle Busch, Todd Bodine, Jason White, and Eric Almirola are your top 5. Look at the crowd that has stuck around to enjoy the finish. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is presented on Speed by Toyota. Brought to you in part by the North Carolina Education Lottery. And by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV sales for the largest selection and best values on toy haulers.
You know, we talked about Kyle Busch pitting with 50 to go, be in pretty good shape as long as there isn't a green-white checkered or two at the end. But in order to make sure he's prepared for that green-white checkered, if that is the case, watch what he's doing here. Getting a little bit of a run. Shutting his motor off and coasting. Maybe go about a quarter of a mile at a time. You do that 4 or 5 times, you got a mile of gas. You know, it doesn't take long to make a whole lap up.
That's right, just saving every ounce you can.
That's a great way to save fuel and make sure you're doing all you can in order to make sure at the end of the race you've got enough gas to get to the finish.
Remember, these are 24-degree banks just like Dover. Now we have flat or straightaways, but we get down towards the end of this, we got right now 18 laps to go. If we get down with a caution inside of 10 laps to go, we may see these guys run around on the flat of the racetrack to try to keep that fuel over by the pickup.
Now, Ron Hornaday is the restart king. We've said that a zillion times. But lately, Kyle Busch has been the restart king, and he was running second when the caution flew. He's driven on the outside of Ron Hornaday now. Let's see if Ron can show Kyle that he's still the man.
Remember, Kyle is not supposed to beat Ron to the start-finish line because he's a second-place truck right now.
Ron Hornaday still winless in 2010. The furthest into any season Hornaday has gone without a win was race number 7.
This is race number 7.
Tonight is race number 7 of the 2010 season. We'll see if he can keep the streak alive, get back into victory lane. Green flag back in the air. Hornaday and Busch side by side as they go through the quad oval and into turn number 1.
Call it dead even right now. Those two drivers aren't going to back off the throttle.
Todd Bodine at the bottom of the racetrack. He's running in the 3rd position. Who's he going to follow?
It's like he's going to try to fly up to the outside of the track and get behind Kyle Busch. Kyle's got that preferred line on the outside. He's going to take the lead from Ron Hornaday.
Eric Almirola in the 51 slides up the racetrack back in the 5th position.
3 wide at the start-finish line.
Peters on the inside, Crafton in the middle, Balsam on the outside.
Keeper up high. Taylor looked like he tried to come down the hill a little bit. Wasn't a whole lot of room to do that there.
A couple trucks down there.
Look at that. 4 wide.
Elliott Sadler goes on the outside. Johnny Sauter on the bottom. Timothy Peters in the middle, as well as the 88 of Matt Crafton.
Somehow they made it. Somehow they made it.
Field fanning out as they cross the start-finish line. 15 laps of racing to go.
Crafton looks to the outside of his teammate. No room there that time.
Battling with Timothy Peters. These trucks are racing for the 13th spot.
There's the distance between 1st and 2nd. Kyle Busch has put 0.6 of a second between himself and Ron Hornaday. Donnie Leah in the 07, trying to clear the 56. Taylor Balsam.
Oh, he's sideways.
Donnie Leah sideways across the field and into the inside wall.
What a great day Donnie was having. Qualified
up in the front 2 rows.
Right up front. Solid run going, and it looked like it just got loose with him coming off turn 2. Couldn't tell if there's any contact or not. Eric Phillips is saying, okay, I'd rather not seen that.
Yeah, that's not exactly something we wanted.
Had this squared away, I believe.
The truck was running well. I had some space between myself and Hornaday, who I know is good on restarts.
About a half a second lead on Hornaday when the caution flag came out, and
this is going to
have to do it again.
It's going to take us down inside 10 to go. Thing, just look at it, steps out on Donnie. He held onto it for a long time.
Elliott Sadler get by on the inside. There's Taylor Balsam.
Great job by Taylor
smoke right now.
He didn't panic. He and Skinner both just hung out, let off the gas, coasted, didn't do anything aggressively, and waited for the track to clear, and it did. Unfortunately for Donnie Leah, it cleared into the inside wall.
So our 6th caution of the night. This time it's Donnie Leah that brings it out, and it's a 1-truck incident.
There's another view. He's just going to get gradually looser until he loses the back end. Watch this now. When he hits the inside wall with the front of that truck, he's on the brakes. You see him holding the throttle, nailing the throttle to keep that truck from backing into the outside wall. Now he's holding the brakes. He makes contact with the inside wall, and he's holding the brakes. But when he's going to let off the brakes, and then the truck is going to back in to the inside wall. Had he not let off the brakes, he wouldn't have had any damage to the back of that truck. Boy, it looked a little more precarious from that position for the 5 and the 56 than it did from the other view.
You know, and Donnie's probably been halfway that sideways 5 or 6 other times during the course of this race. There's just such a fine line between hanging it out a little bit and being able to steer through it, and when it goes over that, and there isn't any saving it, and that was the case there. Once it steps out that far, there just isn't any saving it.
Narain Karthikeyan, number 60, will be the Aaron's lucky dog.
Another impressive run for Narain Karthikeyan. He's up in the top 20 right now. He will be one of 17 trucks on the lead lap when we restart this race.
Just sucking up knowledge, learning everything it takes to race here on a track and in a situation that I know he's never seen before. This is fun to see Narain hanging in there and getting some valuable experience. Aaron's helping him out with a lucky dog there.
Adam Alexander.
Rick.